Alright, we're all set up now, so we want to make something. We want to make our first project. You can make a variety of different types of projects, but I've just got a simple table here that we can make up. I've made it out of, I've actually bought pine and we're going to make it out of pine. You can make it out of any materials you want to make it out of. It doesn't matter. But I'd like to go through the process so you can actually see how easy it is to make your first project. Alright, what we're starting with, I've got a pine top here. This is actually the same material as what we used when we actually built our jig. We've got 2 side rails, we've got 2 end rails, and we've got 4 legs. And then we've got some filler pieces. Now those filler pieces are used so when we're putting it together, so it's not right on the edge. It makes it look a little bit neater. So we're going to start with our side rails. When you look at your material, you say, which side would I like to see facing out? And which side won't I see? Because that's the side you're not going to see is where we're going to actually put the actual pocket holes. So I look at this, I like that to be facing out, so I'm going to be putting them on this side. So what you can do is just put a couple of marks on here so you know that's where you're going to be drilling. Look at your next piece. I like that side, so just mark here and here. And I look at these ones. I'll mark this one. I'll mark this one. Now what we'll be doing is we'll be drilling on the ends of all these timbers first. So what you've got to do is make sure this is set up to the right size. You don't want to go too close to the edge. So you're coming around about 5 millimeters and you lock your piece of wood in. The other thing, remember, is that you don't want to drill through the base here. So make sure you have already checked that. Put your 10-cent coin underneath the end. Make sure your drill is on number 2. Now we've drilled our holes, we've got 2 holes on either end of all your pieces of timber here. We need to think about how we're going to actually join our legs and our rails to our top. Now there's 2 ways of doing it. You can put a groove in here and put a tabletop fastener, or I'm going to show you a way where we can just use the pocket hole jig and make the whole thing with doing that. Now what we're going to do is just mark 3. It doesn't have to be any measurement, but if you just mark 3 holes virtually equally apart. Make sure you're not too close to where these ones are, because these will join onto the legs. And on this one you only need 2. And then all you need to do is start drilling. Making sure you drill on the same position as these holes. You don't want to be drilling on the other side. Now we're only putting 1 lot of holes in here, so you only need to use 1 of your guides. You don't really need to use 2. The 2 are there just to support it, but you only need to use 1 to drill. And now we have our holes going down, which will be used for connecting to the top of your table. So what we'll be doing now is joining the rails onto the legs. So we'll have them all together as one frame so we can join that to the top of the table. Now we're going to assemble the end rails. The end rails are these pieces. You've got your legs here and you've got your packing slip because you want to lift it up a little bit so it's not sitting on the edge. Makes it look a little bit nicer. So put that on here, bring that to the edge. Now we've got everything clamped down and all we need to do now is work out what screws we need here. Now the screws that we're going to be using for this, because we're going from 19mm into the leg, I suggest that we use the 31mm because it gives us a little bit of strength and holds it on nice and tight. Make sure that you've got your timber so when you screw your rails to the top of your table that your holes are facing down. Otherwise you'll put it together and it'll be facing the wrong way. Just put this together, just a simple project, a small table. As you could see, I didn't use any glue. You don't need to use glue. If you want to, you can use glue. The other thing is your selection of materials. I've just selected these materials because I like them. And you can do all sorts of other things to it. You could have routed the edge here, make that nicer, depending on what sort of coats you want to put on it, a natural coat, a high gloss coat. So there's many different types of coats you could put on this. And as you can see, very simple pocket hole jig systems are really easy to use. And if you need to have any more information from Screw It Screws, just ring Anne or Robert and we'll be able to help you out. Remember, just go to the website screwitscrews.com.au, or if you want to, just give us a ring and we can talk to you all about this.